Hey, Eric with IFP Connect. I'm here with Chris at Big Boulder. He just finished an install here at Future Mortgage. And so we'll put some links down below to them. So if you're looking for a mortgage, Blake with Future Mortgage, he can help you out. If you want to build an infrastructure, Chris is your guy right here in Boise, Idaho. And like I said, just finished this project, wired it. I'm trying to think how many 4-port plates do we have?
We have 23 total 4-port plates, including our floor boxes. And then we also have 4 cameras running on the PoE system.
Okay.
So all over fiber.
Nice. Well, and I apologize. I, of course, love what I do, so jumped right into it. I didn't get a chance for you to introduce yourself. So.
I'm Chris Wilson. I work for Big Boulder Solutions. I founded this company about 6 years ago in 2019. We are a network data cable integrator and an AV integrator. And then we also do, audio systems and AV camera systems, security systems, that type of stuff. If you'd like to reach me, you can go to www.bigbouldersolutions.com.
You kind of went in both feet on this one, in my opinion, because you didn't put a category backbone in at all. Literally every single wall plate, every single camera, they're all over IFP Connect.
Yep.
So if you can share a little bit about what you noticed was different during the pre-wire, and then maybe a couple things like what you noticed that was different during the trim versus category cable.
One, in both the pre-wire and the trim out, we spent less time. And I think that was one of the biggest takeaways. In the pre-wire, the cable, we're only pulling one single mode fiber to each termination point, whereas with Cat 6 in this situation, we would have been pulling 4 Cat 6 cables to each. So we cut the number of cables that we had by 75% to begin with, but then the fiber cable is actually easier to pull. It's smaller, it's easier to bend and work with, and it's actually tougher than Cat 6. So everything about it, it seemed like was just a little bit simpler than pulling Cat 6 for the pre-wire. When we got to trim out, I actually had a tech come on for a little while. I spent maybe 5 minutes to 10 minutes training him how to do all of the terminations. Once I was confident that he was doing them correctly, I set him free, and he terminated a significant portion of the ones that we have in here. And everything worked flawlessly from the get-go. Everything has worked. There's been nothing that has had any sort of data lag or a failure. Our speeds are consistent across absolutely everything. So it's been a simple system to install from pre-wire all the way through finish work. It's kind of my favorite thing now as an integrator to be able to put in. I've been wanting to get into fiber for quite a while, but the costs of traditional fiber have been prohibitive. And so getting into the IFP Connect system has been a dream. Now I've told you, Eric, I've already sold it to a couple of other customers, and I've got several others that are interested at this point. It's an easy sell when the price point is close to Cat 6 or better than Cat 6, depending on how many terminal endpoints you've got. And people want to be future-proofed at this point, and when I tell them that Cat 6 is over 20 years old, then it makes them think twice about putting it into their brand new building and trying to rely on that for the next several years.
I think when I looked at the number of standards for category cable and went back to 1985 when the first standard was ratified, that basically there's been a new version of category cable like every 3 years.
Wow.
And so you think about that and you go, okay, well, that wouldn't be that big of a deal if it was something like a TV, where you could take it off the wall and just put a new one up.
Yeah.
But this is the cabling that you're putting in the walls.
Right.
For me as a former integrator, if I actually looked at my customers and said, at that time and said, hey, just so you know, the cabling that we're putting in your building is good for about 3 years.
Want the best, the latest and the greatest, you're going to have to change every 3 years.
Yeah.
We're going to have to pull everything out, redo the entire system.
Yeah.
It's not very attractive to most business owners.
No, that's for sure.
The type of fiber that we're using is so much simpler than most of the traditional other types of fiber from other brands. The pull strength of it is immense. I can just about hang from the ceiling on it if I wanted to. And we've never been able to do that with category cable, and certainly not traditional fiber. I felt like there was little to no learning curve when it came to pulling everything for the pre-wire.
Okay.
Because the cable's so tough and so kind of supple and easy to work with, that there was we pulled everything around just like I would expect to with category cable, but much smaller, easier to work with cables, and just one to each terminal point. I trained somebody else that had never done this before in 5-10 minutes and set him free, came back a couple of times throughout the day and just checked on him, checked a couple of terminations, made sure everything was going well. And it was going great. And so there was very little time wasted when it came to having to onboard the product or onboard employees for how to use the product. It's much harder to make mistakes with this system. Like I said, put the plug in, and if you have a green light, you're good.
Yeah.
And so, and if you don't get a green light, all you've got to do is pull apart your connector and put your VFL on and make sure that your lights look correct at both ends. You're not having to pull everything back out of a keystone like you would with Cat 6. You're not having to clip off an end connector and completely redo a connection like you would with Cat 6. And so even troubleshooting bad connections was fast and simple and easier than category cable.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about working with fiber instead of Cat is that you're now dealing with one strand. So you have literally a connector on each end.
Right.
And it's one. So you really, like, if you know this connector is good, then it has to be this one that's bad.
Absolutely.
For the other integrators that are out there, these are guys that, have been seeing our solution for 3 or 4 years.
Sure.
They haven't pulled the trigger. What would you share with them? What thoughts would you have with them regarding IFP in your experience?
Sure. Well, I think the low cost of entry, and then the simplicity of installation and simplicity of termination and finish, and the fact that all of the transceivers do a handshake test with the head end switch and tell you whether you have a good connection or not, so you're not even having to do specific tests on anything.
Right.
All of that should combine to help integrators know that this is not going to be something super intimidating and scary to get into. And the fact that you were willing to come out and show us how to terminate stuff, that you'll send a representative out to help an integrator on their first job to make sure that they understand the system and how it works and how to do all their terminations, that should calm any other fears that somebody might have of not knowing, just the unknown and being afraid of jumping into something new. Because I did it. I've never done it. And I think it maybe took 10 minutes or so of you showing me. And then I said, okay, I think this is easy enough for me to do. Just go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see
Let me
what
get
I
back
can
to
do.
work.
I'll give you a call if I have any questions.
And I don't think you ever called except to order more stuff.
No, and then I started teaching other people how to do it. So it was that simple. And so there's just not the barriers to entry like traditional fiber has. There was very little learning curve, and it didn't cost me a ton to get into.
Okay.
And we're profitable on our first job.
Oh, so that's
That's
profitable on job one. So
can't complain about that.
Think about another product. Think about another product that you've installed on the very first time you put it in. You made money.
Yeah. It was simple. It was straightforward. I enjoyed working with the stuff. I use my thumbs a lot for punch downs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I get real sore after I do a whole bunch of punch down jacks and things like that. And so this eliminates some of that as well. Straightforward, simple, and I think that's what any integrator can expect from it.
Okay.
I can't see how anybody would have any major issues. Because it was dummy proof.
Chris, Big Boulder Solutions, but he's bigbouldersolutions.com.
Yep,
is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have other things? Eric with IFP Connect, www.ifpconnect.com. thank you guys very much. Chris, thanks for coming in,
Thanks,
man.
y'all. Have a good one, Eric.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate it.